Hey guys, it's Pig Drew, and if you saw my video yesterday, you'll know that I was showing off this hilariously broken Amara build that I made. And I'm going to show a little bit now before I go into the build. As you can see, everything just died, 32 million. I didn't see how much that was. It was a lot though. Yeah, that anointed instantly died. As you can see, if you look on the bottom, I am on Mayhem 10, so that's not holding this build back from destroying everything in sight. 215 million back there. Let's see what else we can. Let's see if we can hit a damage cap really quick. Oh, I saw everything else died. I don't have my action skill. One sec. So this guy's gonna. Ooh, he lived. Okay, I guess he's only tied to the anointed that are dead. Oh, that guy died. 99 million. That wasn't even a lot of damage for this build. Not even close. That was over 100 million. I'm gonna die. Hold on one sec. Get my action skills back. So, as you can see, all of your damage is coming from ties that bind, pretty much. Like, this, don't get me wrong, your weapon does a ton of damage, straight up. Like, if I was just shooting at an enemy, they would all die, but not in one shot like this. So, yeah, let's kill a few. Let's clear out this area, actually, and then I'll get into the build, just to show off how effortless mobbing becomes when you're using a build like this. Just so many millions, it feels good. Look at all those anointed dead. I had absolutely no issues clearing this area, fast as can be. Alright, so yeah, if this kind of damage interests you, if you want to make Mayhem 10 easier than normal mode, then you're going to love this build. Alright, so let's get into it, shall we? So, let's start off with the weapon, just because it's pretty straightforward. Krakatoa, this is literally going to be your destroyer of worlds right here. As you can see, I have kind of an insane annoyant, which helps a lot. Like, you don't need this annoyant, but it's going to help you hit those damage caps, like, really, really easily. Like, even an unanointed Krakatoa, with this build, you're still going to be one-shotting, like, huge groups of enemies, as long as you group them up with ties that bind, for sure. And honestly, aside from the Krakatoa, I would just go with, like, really strong weapons in general, like the Sandhawk, the Lob, and the Yellow Cake. You just want really high damage, single shot weapons. None of these rolls are very good, only this has a good anoint on it, but any strong single target weapon will be good, because basically this is an overkill build. You just want to chain massive amounts of overkill into your remnant orbs, and then so you can hit the highest numbers you want, pretty much. I've been using the stopgap with the Victory Rush combo, just because I play my Mayhem 10 annoyance. I like to use Roguelite because it doesn't change your damage numbers at all, so I just give myself maximum survivability with invincibility. The Phaserker is essential to this build. I know the Spiritual Driver is a fan favorite class mod, but you're not going to be able to do numbers like that. The Spiritual Driver is probably a better bossing class mod, but for mobbing in this case, the Phaserker is going to let you do damage caps to groups of enemies, and that's all comes down to how it interacts with the skill Do Harm, which I'll be getting into in a second. So I also use this piss. Again, the grenade really doesn't matter, like, you can put anything you want here. I like to have bonus elements just for the extra damage. I showed this last time, Victory Rush. Okay, so into the skill tree. So I'm going to start off with the green tree. I just go for 3 into personal space, because this is one of your highest damage skills, if you didn't know. As you can see, it says up to 36% of damage dealt. It's actually a lie. I believe if you're really close, it can go up to as high as 60%. And the 36% increase in damage will apply even when you're like 20 feet away from an enemy. So you're going to be getting that a lot, as long as you're not like super far away. So it's really good damage. So next we're going to do the blue tree, and that's really where all of your damage is coming from, believe it or not. So most of the time when people move up the blue tree, they put 3 into here and then 1 in 1, which that's fine, but for this build you're going to want 5 out of 5 for Do Harm, and there's a very good reason for that. So as you can see, killing an enemy grants Amara a stack of... For every stack of Rush consumed, Amara's damage is temporarily increased. So if you didn't know, this applies to ties that bind as well. So normally, enemies chained by ties that bind only take 35% of your damage. However, The more stacks of do harm you have, the more damage you're going to be doing to chained enemies. So yeah, 5.9 damage per stack. Let me get out of the menu for a sec. If I just fake grasp over and over, if you look at my the bottom of my bar, under my XP bar, you're going to see that those stacks of do harm are just climbing and climbing. And the higher those go, the more damage that chained enemies are going to take. I'm not 100% on the math, but when you're at max stacks, I believe enemies are taking over 400% damage when they're chained, as opposed to the actual enemy you're shooting at. So it's a huge difference, believe it or not. And those enemies dying from ties that bind are going to be the ones that are generating all these huge damage numbers. So yeah, I mean, pretty much all of this stuff is literally just to get down the tree. You have 2 points in alacrity for reload speed, 3 in transcend for the critical damage. Obviously, cooldown is always nice. Ascendant, you don't really need it again. It's just to get down the skill tree. Better healing from Soul Sap. From Rest is going to help your Krakatoa shoot faster and like negate the charge time almost. So you can put Laid Bare if you want. I just didn't because you really don't need more. You don't need any more damage, as you can see. Wrath is more damage than Laid Bare, so that's why I did Wrath. Well, yeah, it is. What am I saying? Awakening, Rushed Axe gain increased effectiveness, so that's going to make your do harm synergy even stronger. You got 1 point into Remnant, that's just to generate your overkill orbs. The biggest numbers you're going to get are from this Remnant orb, even with 1 out of 3 points, and that's because the normal overkill skill from the Guardian rank is capped at 5 times your weapon damage, whereas Remnant is literally uncapped overkill. So no matter how much damage you do, this is going to be a multiplicative overkill orb, which is pretty ridiculous. And finally, Avatar. This is to give you more stacks of Rush to make stacking do harm easier, as well as giving you, 2 uses of your action skill, which is really nice in a build that's focused around Phase Grasp almost entirely. That's pretty much all of your damage is coming from. And yeah, now into the red tree, we have, again, Anima. This is one of your best early skills, just better status effect damage and duration. Tempest, this is just to move down the tree. Tempest and Wildfire. I personally am not a fan of Infusion. Dread, again, this is a Phase Grasping build, so this is just more damage for 1 point. You get 15% damage. Indiscriminate is going to let your Krakatoa shots bounce around in groups. If everything in the group doesn't just die in one shot, which happens a lot, but if it's a group of tanky enemies, like all badasses, and they live, then your shot's just going to bounce around and get even more damage to give you those even higher numbers. Like, when you're getting damage caps, you're probably getting some indiscriminate chains as well. Depot, better mag size, 1 point Catharsis. This skill isn't that good, but it's the point I need to move down the tree to get Sustainment, and finally Forceful Expression. Sustainment is just a classic healing skill. It's really good for healing. And yeah, Forceful Expression is a big increase in damage. I like to keep it on fire when I'm using this build, just to give my Krakatoa an extra punch from fire. So yeah, that's pretty much the build. You can use any augment you like. I don't really see the point in using others if the only ones that are good add cooldown time, and I don't want that. And I'm already doing so much damage. Why do I need something like Stillness of Mind or Allure? Everything dies anyway, so might as well give myself more health. Ties That Bind is essential to this build. It's, like I said, it's literally where all of your damage is coming from, so you're going to want to use that. And yeah, Fire Element. This does not give you access to Corrosive, but again, you really don't need it. You can kill any enemy instantly if you have a chain set up. With this build, I promise you, damage will never be a problem in mobbing. Again, this is not so much a bossy build. Like, you could kill bosses with it. I have, where is it? Wow, I scrolled too far. I have a 250% phase cast Krakatoa that I would use for bosses, but honestly, you could get away with killing bosses for sure, but, again, this is more of a mobbing build and a really good one at that, so. But yeah, I will be putting this game save, not this inventory, I should have changed my inventory, but I am going to be putting a game save with a bunch of weapons that take good advantage of this build for you guys to try out and see what kind of insane numbers you can hit. So yeah, that's the build. I hope you like it. I'm going to go kill a couple more enemies really quick, just to show that it really is as simple as point and click and kill every single enemy on screen. So yeah, I mean, I hope everyone can get some good use out of this build, hit those damage caps, and maybe convince Gearbox to add a 1 billion damage marker so that it's way more exciting than to hit an enemy for damage cap and show nothing. I was a little disappointed when I did that for the first time, but yeah, you see all those 100 millions I just did? Yeah, let's see if we can get a damage cap. I would love to do that in this video, but it's honestly not that simple. Oh, that's Roaster. Oh, look, I just one-shot Roaster with a fire weapon. I'm immune to fire, so my bonus elements did all the damage right there. And if you think that's crazy, well then you really gotta try out this build, my friend, because that is just what to expect from something like that. Oh, that guy just got damage capped. Did you see that? The orb hit, and they died. More damage. Give me more damage. Alright, well I shouldn't have done that. So yeah, I mean, you're not going to be killing things very quickly when they're not phase grasped, but when they are, yeah, just say bye. Everything's dead. Look at that. 636 million, 600 million, 100 million, all in one shot right there. So I mean, I'm on the map, the Cathedral of the Twin Gods right now, and if this is one of the hardest maps in my opinion. It has lots of badass COV enemies, and especially during the cartel event where you have all these gangs spawning for even more badass enemies to fight. But still, like, this build makes it free as heck. Like, I'm not even hitting headshots right now, and you're gonna see everything still dies. They just keep giving me the freaking Goliaths for some reason. Hello, Roaster. Okay, you're not in a group. So yeah, now pretty much everything's dead. That was not very hard at all, so yeah, I mean, this build's ridiculous. I spent a lot of time making it, and I'm really happy how it turned out, honestly. So I hope other people enjoy using it just as much as I do. So yeah, as you can see, that chained enemy took 39 million, and that trash mob didn't even die from the shot. So that just goes to show how the interaction with the do harm is really strong. So yeah, thank you for watching. I really hope you enjoy the build. Let me know in the comments if you guys are able to hit those damage caps, and if you're hitting for hundreds of millions of damage every shot. So thanks for watching. If you really enjoyed, please leave a subscribe, and leave a comment or subscribe. I'm going to be trying to upload a lot of videos, because honestly I really am enjoying this new update. So yeah, thanks for watching.